All right, guys, welcome back to part 2 on this 2012 Bennche Spire 800. I got the motor out of the chassis. Like I said, I didn't show all that, but let's just walk over here real quick and talk about a couple things. These things are a pain in the butt to do. I got you on my stand right now, so excuse the wobbliness. But the biggest pain in the butt with these guys basically is you need to pretty much take the rear end apart, the rear diff loose. That way you can slide it back. Try to get you a better angle. That way you can slide it back out of the way. And then when you unbolt the motor mounts, you know, the transmission's got to come out with it, the one bolt there, and I take the lower motor mounts out. That way you can slide it back off of the front drive shaft. It's not light by any means, and this one doesn't have the cylinders on it, so I really dread putting it back in by myself. Give me some light. Back by myself, after I get the cylinders back on, this thing all put back together with the transmission. So in order to get it all out, I don't remember if I recorded me pulling the clutch out. I do have that in a different video on another 2012. I think it's the orange one that is from Houston, Texas, actually. So if you guys want to look at the clutch, how that comes apart, I'm pretty sure I have that. And of course, like showed the oil pump gears, water pump gears, all that stuff in the other video. I will record that here on this also. But if you look down here right now, hopefully I get you guys a decent view. You are on my left. Try to figure this out. Transmission still attached. Pretty easy to get transmission off. There's 4 nuts. Transmission will come straight off the back. And then I do still have the motor mounts attached to the motor. It's just easier for when you set it in there to line it up with the bolts on the motor mounts down here and on this side than it is to try to set the motor in there and lift it up to get it all situated. So this whole thing is going to be taken apart. I'm going to clean it all in my parts washer. I won't show you guys the cleaning stuff, but I will show the disassembly and we'll talk about that again. You can just see these rods are just, well, that one's not as bad. The number 2 cylinder is not as bad as the number 1 cylinder, but you guys saw how low the oil was in the first video. It was black. I still need to talk to the owner to see if he drained the oil. I cannot remember if he drained it or not, so I will give him a call here shortly, and I will update him on what I found here. So we'll disassemble this motor first. We'll go over all that stuff, and then he has a kit he bought from eBay that is sitting here, a complete motor rebuild kit. Thought it started to rain for a second. Complete motor rebuild kit, and we'll go through all the parts that are inside that, all the gaskets, the plane bearings, which are the main bearings, the rod bearings, the crank. I should have rods. It's supposed to be a complete rebuild kit. I haven't looked in there to see what's all there, so we're going to check that out together. But first, let's go ahead and jump into this, separate the transmission off this guy, and get this case split and get this crank out and see what other kind of damage we find inside this Bennche Spire 800. Yeah, Bennche Spire 800 V-twin motor. All right, guys, so my kids popped in the shop real quick. They want to say hi to everybody out here in the wonderful social media land. Say hi, girls.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. All right, goodbye, girls. We'll see you soon. Let's go ahead and jump into this Bennche Spire 800 motor here. We're going to go ahead and take the transmission off. It's a 14. There's 4 nuts that hold this on. So kids are headed off to co-op from homeschool, so their last day of the year, so they're all excited. And I was supposed to buy vanilla cookies, and apparently I bought lemon cookies. That's what I get for not reading. But anyways, back to the motor. So we're going to take these 4 nuts off here. There's one here. I do have a little 2x4 box I will set this on. Should be another one in a really crappy spot down here. You guys, like I said, you can see it's all muddy and stuff. So when I get the transmission separated, I am going to put the transmission in my parts washer. We'll wash it, clean it all up, make it look new. And then as we take this motor apart and we go to reassemble it, before I reassemble it, I will definitely clean everything in the parts washer, take all the gaskets off. I'm not going to show you guys getting the gaskets off with a razor blade or parts washing any of this stuff. We're just going to show you the assembly and disassembly of it. So here's bolt number 2, and we'll also change the transmission fluid while we're here. That way we know all the trans fluids are good. And then we'll spin it around. And then we got this guy here. This one actually might only have 3. Some have 4. I know some of the Odes have 4. But let's go ahead and take this last one, what looks to be the last one. I was hoping to be able to put this motor on my ATV UTV engine stand, or ATV dirt bike engine stand, but that's not going to happen. There's nowhere to mount it because there's no through bolts. That's why they have these motor mounts like they do. So we're just going to work in it in a little box I had built. I got to pull an R6 motor out of that box right now with 2x4s, but it'll definitely get the job done. I've used it for a couple older builds before I started a YouTube channel. So now we got, I all right, there's the third one. I believe it's just a 3. So we should be able to separate this transmission now from the rest of the motor. I think. Let's check one more time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't see any more. So I'm going to set the motor here and see if I can't get this transmission to start to separate. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to separate. So I'm going to grab a little pry bar. It's actually still sitting over here on the back of this Bennche. Stepped on a bolt and about broke my neck. Anyways, get in here and we're just gonna work it a little bit to hopefully get it to come loose. It's slowly working its way back and forth. And again, I'm not trying to do anything crazy. Let me put this bolt back in there. Just a little bit of pressure to get the transmission to separate off of the, there we go. Thing is full of rocks. Oh, we're losing oil. I didn't think the transmission was gonna leak out the front like that, but apparently we are. You can hear it running on the floor right now. So I guess it's not a sealed unit up there. All right, well, I'm catching all my oil down here underneath the lift right now. Let me grab another rag or two. There we go. Well, we'll just let all that run out, I guess. I don't remember it being separate like that. I thought it was a separate sealed unit, but it's been a long time since I had to do one. So apparently not. So it's got an O-ring on the, it has an O-ring on the motor itself. So that's all right. No big deal. We'll just take this off. I'll tape all that up, clean it up around there first, and tape that up before we actually start cleaning that. So now I'm going to go ahead and just clean up all this oil off the camera, guys, and then we'll get back into this motor build. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take off the motor mounts, and then I'm going to lay it sideways in this little box I have, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the starter off and the motor mount on this side, flip it over, and we'll take the motor mount on the other side. That way this cord from the stator's not flapping around. So let's see, that's looks like a tin, 2 tins. Jeez. There's that one. Pull the starter out real quick. And if you guys look, there is one longer and shorter. The longer one goes from here into the case, and this one does not go all the way through the case. So we'll keep that together. Let's get the starter out. Starter is out. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and work on the other motor mount, and we'll throw it in this. I have what I call it a box, but it's just a couple 2x4s all thrown together here. And we'll go ahead and yank the other motor mount out. That's a 10 and an 8, so let's start with a 10 since I already have it on there, and then the 8. And again, I will keep those together. And you can't get them mixed up because one side has a 10 mil, or it should be, it's actually 8 mil bolt in the 6x10. But when I say 10 and 8, it's a 10 mil head, 8 mil head. So we got that. And now we'll go ahead and just crank it over on its side, and we're gonna go ahead and start disassembling the stator side. And again, we are going to clean all this stuff up off of camera. I know it's a mess, but this whole motor is being completely rebuilt, so we're not worried about really any debris getting down in there, unless it's gonna be, you know, we'll check the oil pump and all that stuff too. So I don't remember if all these are the same length or not. We're gonna find out. So far, so good. And remember this one up here in the corner here, that's where they had the ground strap for the motor at, and it has a little washer on it. So it goes up here in this corner here. And actually, I'm going to mark that. I'm going to mark it with a little dimple with my center punch on the top, just so I remember what goes there. It's nothing special, it's just a little mark because we're gonna wash it, and if anything I put on there is gonna wash off. So let's get this last one out. And all these are the same length, I think except for this last one here. I think it might be a little longer. Nope, they're all the same length except for that one has a washer on it for the ground strap. And there is the oil dipstick. All right, lost the reduction gear in here, but that's all good. That's pretty simple to put back in, like so. So there's a big old bolt in there, and that looks like, yeah, it's all boogered up. That's why I was struggling so much to get that done. This gasket actually stayed really nice. We got there is a spring down there for the, looks like for part of the oil. I can't really, there's a 5 in there, so there is a spring down in there. I don't remember that one, but I'm gonna grab all the bolts and I'm gonna set this on my cart next to me over here. And I'll keep all of this together with it. And like I said, all that will get washed. Let's go ahead and take out this gear. And I don't remember if this one has a washer behind it or not. No washer behind either one of those. If somebody hasn't taken this apart, like I said, I don't recall everything. So we got those two. We'll grab, it looks to be maybe a 21, Chinese size again. So here's a 22. A 22 fits pretty good. Let's check a 21. Nope, 22. We'll see if our electric impact will get that off. Should be standard thread pitch. Took a little bit, but we got it. But if you look how boogered up this guy was, it made it tough for me to get that 8 mil in there. So now we need a flywheel puller. I believe I have the right one. Golly, I hope so. I have a ton of them. Let's see. Is this it right here? Nope. I have a bunch of different ones, so hopefully I have the same one. I thought this one took the same one as the Warrior, but I could be wrong. Let's see, that is for the 450. That is too big. Oh, don't tell me I don't have the right one. Oh, that's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to order one. That one's way too big. So apparently I don't. I thought I had the right one. As many of these I've done, I would think I would have the right flywheel puller. I swear I had it. I'll probably have to locate it. So we'll jump back in this video in a second. I'm gonna locate. I know I had the flywheel puller somewhere around here. All right. So apparently I must have lent out my flywheel puller because I cannot find that one anywhere. So I just ordered another one, which will be here tomorrow. So we'll continue on. We'll go ahead and pull the water pump off. I guess we can pull I'm gonna leave the oil filter in for the moment. Yeah, I'll pull the water pump off right now. I may get a phone call from my buddy. He may have one I could borrow, but I honestly, I have no idea what happened to mine. So let's see. Water pump. There's the cover. So let's just flip it over. We'll take all the gears out for the oil pump, water pump, this side case cover. We'll just get this stuff going. Look at that water pump seal. It's shot anyways. That's probably why the thing's stuck on there. Water pump. So we'll just move over to this side where all the gears, plastic gears of all things, are for the oil pump, water pump, and all that good stuff. I believe these are all the same size also. Yep, all the same size. We'll drop those in there. Got the three in the middle yet. Forgot about those. Idiot. Everything else gone. Out, out, out. There's that. All right, guys, so I got a phone call. That's actually a guy I helped out in North Carolina up in the mountains with a Bennche 800. He just called me for a little more information. All right, so we got the side cover off. Again, you can see the gasket stayed on it. We're gonna put a new gasket on it regardless. Gonna throw it in the parts washer later, clean it up, have a new seal, and we'll press out and press in the new plain bearings. These aren't too bad on the outside. There is a little bit of wear and stuff, but they're not horrible. So we'll put new ones in here, and then we will grab all of our nuts and bolts and lovely stuff. Put it in my cart. So again, as you guys know in the past, you've seen, you have all these plastic gears. This runs the oil pump. This runs the water pump, and this is your idler gear, I guess you would say. And these do go out. So when these go out, you end up losing your water pump, and your oil pump gets hot, and goes from there, boom, blows up. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out that guy, and then we'll pull this out here, and this one off. And there is a washer on the back of the one that does run the water pump. And that does on the other side. I did take it out. This does have a plastic gear on the inside. You guys will see that here in a minute. Let me set this back over here on this side. I don't want to lose any of these parts. The little pin. The biggest pain in the butt right now, honestly, is not having the flywheel puller available for myself. That really sucks. Take this one out, get it out of the way. That one looks good. The bearing feels good. Everything feels good on that. Next up will be the oil pump gear. Screwdriver. Where did I put you at? Didn't bring one. You guys can probably tell I'm a little more enthusiastic in this video than I was the last one. I just wore out, man, just tired. A lot of work going on, a lot of things, a lot of customers trying to get stuff done quicker than I can get in the shop. So we'll pull the oil pump gear out, set it off to the side. We'll go ahead and get out the oil pump. Looks like somebody's definitely been in here because this is boogered up already. So this thing is was probably already blown up when he got it. Let's grab a 5. Let's pull the timing chain tensioner out. Our timing chain guide. We'll get that out. We'll keep that. I know it's with the same side it's gone on before. We'll move this little plastic keeper. So this is so the timing chain doesn't slide off the bottom when you go to put it back together. That looks pretty good. Timing chain out. Timing chain doesn't, I mean, it's got a lot of flex in it, but no kinks or anything, but there are some brand new ones we're gonna put in here. Again, we'll keep this with the same side we've been working on. That way we know we don't screw any of that up. Again, we want to take that out. So let me grab an impact driver just in case they are, and they're kind of crazy tight. Give it a nice little tap. Feels like they did put some Loctite back on it at least. That was oil in the mouth. I'm waiting on a phone call back from my buddy at his shop, mower shop actually, to see if he happens to have a flywheel puller. If not, I got one, it'll be here tomorrow. Today is what, Tuesday? So yeah, it'll be here on Wednesday. What time it gets here, that's a different story. But I think we should be able to split the cases anyways off this direction. Oil pump pieces and the gasket. We'll take that apart later. We'll check the inside of that a little bit later. Oil pump over there. We're gonna take this, I can't even get the 5 off, come on. There we go, fingers are slick. So we'll baffle out while we're over here. Oh, that went inside, but that's okay. Taking the whole thing apart anyways, right? All right, it's like a little baffle there. You guys can see there is debris down in here. Kind of yuck, kind of nasty. A lot, especially a lot there. So we've got to make sure we clean all of this stuff up. Nice and neat, like brand new. And again, I'm not sure what all the kit comes with, but I know it comes with quite a bit. All right, so that's everything from this side. I cannot get the cam chain tensioner out of the other side. So let's go ahead and start pulling some bolts, flip it over. I don't remember, there might be one behind that. I cannot recall, but let's go ahead and we'll start pulling some bolts out here. I know there are 1 or 2 bigger ones also. Let's see, 5, 5, 5, 5, and I believe there's one from the other side. So I want to start, I'm going to lay these things out in order. I probably should put them in a piece of cardboard. So let me grab a punch, a magnet, and I need a piece of cardboard to put this in because I want this thing to, I want all these to match back up. Grab one of my brake clean boxes. That's empty. All right, so basically I'll match it up to this. So I'm gonna go out here, shove that guy in, and then we're gonna go down here. And this way I don't lose track of what goes where. I know this is probably nice and boring to watch, but again, some guys like the whole thing, some guys don't. You guys could always fast forward past it if you don't like it. But again, I'm just kind of showing you guys the options I do to make my life easier when I do put it back together. And now we got one here, here, and here, and right here. I know I have another motor, same motor from another one that he owns coming after this. So I'll probably end up keeping the same box, doing the same thing to make life easy for all of us. And I probably will shoot another video on it doing the same thing. I mean, why not? Again, I'm going to check to see. I don't think there are any bolts behind there. We do have, that is the oil filter. I'm not worried about those because those are short. That should be all of that. And we'll go ahead and get you a little better view here. Turn you sideways. Take out these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed one down here. So we got that. And I think, yeah, I gotta do this one in the front. And that's on the other side case. And that's on the other side case. So I need to punch one more hole down at the bottom. That is directly below, in between these guys. And now we'll go ahead and bang out these 5s, or these 6s, it looks like. I need an extension. Ooh, that one's on there pretty good. Let's see, this one. A little tap, tap, knock them loose. And then these guys, same thing. Punch a hole in this guy. That way I know where they go. Sounds like my neighbor's mowing. I think I fixed his carburetor for him. All right. So I think that's all of those. I don't think there's gonna be anything left. Let's take a look around. Out, 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 out. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. And, oh, nope, we got, this guy's gotta come off. Oh, there's that one. That one. And that one. Those three. Whew. All right, so I think the crankcases should come apart now. I know that one on the back for the transmission. Let's grab a dead blow and see if we can't get this crankcase to start coming apart, even though the flywheel is on the other side. There we go. Crankcase apart. And again, like I said, you can see it's got that plastic gear that runs through onto a plastic gear that runs the water pump. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Actually, the main bearings look really good. That's kind of impressive. There's you can see a little bit of sludge. How burnt that oil is. That's pretty bad. Set that down. Again, we'll check the gears on this. All the gears look good. If this thing gets hot, those like to melt. But, oh yeah, rod bearings are sticking out the side. Sticking out the side big time. Big, big time. Let's see, did I split? Yep. See if I can't tap these off. I don't remember. All right, that one's off. We will have to replace the gasket back here. He may have a bearing for that and a seal. Oh, it'll help if I take all three bolts out on this side to be able to take that guy out. All three of these. Dowel pin, dowel pin. There's that for this. These three, that towards the back, and then this guy we can slide on a new gasket here, and we'll put a new gasket on there. Now you see it's got a bolt holding it on, so in order to get that out, I think that'd be a nightmare, but bearing feels pretty good. Gasket sealing. Those three. But again, like I was saying, if you look at the crank, let's pull you off the stand. We'll look at the crank. I'll show you guys the rod bearing. You can see the rod bearing sticking out right there. This thing is fried. So my next wonderful thing is we will pull the rods off, so you guys get a look in there. But what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna pull these dowel pins out. Like I said, I don't have the flywheel puller here yet, so I'll do that probably when it gets here tomorrow, and then I'll start cleaning this stuff off of camera, and then we'll jump back in to see what is going on with that crank. You guys can see it's just bad oil. Got hot, oil just burned up, low oil probably, and then we'll go through that whole entire kit for the rebuild in part 3. So I'm going to call this the end of part 2, and in the beginning of part 3 you will see the rods to see what that looks like. We know they're bad, we already know they're bad, but I'm going to clean everything else up. So this is end of part 2, guys. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, you can find me on Facebook at Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair. Right here on YouTube to drop some comments, some likes. TikTok at Limitless Power Sports Ser and Rep. Or you can email me at limitlessports78@gmail.com. Again, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. And this is going to be a mess to clean up. No fun to watch that, but I'll catch you on my next upload.